90% of traders fail. Like, I get that stat. But when you think of it, 90% of businesses fail. Be patient. If you don't have a passion for this stuff, you shouldn't get into it. And if you don't love it, it's not something you should be doing. Yeah, it's a job. It's a business. At the end of the day, you have to love it. Man, if you want to come back to work every day, you got to love it.
What is going on, guys? My name is Lorenzo, and welcome back to another episode of the TFT podcast. We are here today with Jason, who is a funded trader with TFT and has over $70,000 in payouts.
How's it going?
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be in Miami?
Well, it's really nice. The flight was a little bit long, but
from Michigan, right?
It was only like 3 hours, not that long. But
okay.
I was just in Florida with my girlfriend about a month ago, so in Clearwater. So
sweet.
But yeah, it's a nice little vacation.
Yeah.
So
just to let everyone know, you're 19.
I am 19. Yes.
So when did you start trading?
So yeah, I found trading. I actually discovered it when 10th grade. I was 15. And one of my friends who was sitting at my table, actually, he came in the room and he had a demo account, but he showed me his phone. He was like, "Hey man, I just lost like 10K." And he just showed me, I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Is that real money?" He was like, "Yeah, it's real money." No, it's a demo account. But, I was like, "Wow." I was like, "What's that called?" And he was like, "Oh, it's called forex." I was like, "Huh, okay." And then like a minute later, I was like, I asked my teacher if I can go to the bathroom, and I went to go look at what was forex. What was forex? What is it? And I found MetaTrader, and that's where the whole thing sparked. And I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And I just started deep diving into it.
So you were immediately hooked.
I was immediately hooked. I actually was doing like demo trading and stock trading previously. So I had a little bit of experience with it, but yeah, I found trading then. I dug deep into it right away, and I kept I watched a lot of YouTube videos. It consumed all of my time.
Yeah,
it was a real passion right away.
And you still feel that fire?
Yes,
today?
I still feel that fire. I love the markets. It's like a massive puzzle, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually used to like to do Rubik's cubes, and I did all of them from the 2x2 to pyramid, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, a lot of different Rubik's cubes. And there's actually a big connection with I would say a Rubik's cube and trading. With like a 3x3 Rubik's cube, you need to have algorithms to solve it. And there's a lot of different ways to solve it, though. You can solve like the first 2 layers. You can solve it with like a flower pattern. There's a lot of different ways to solve the Rubik's cube. And I found it really connection to trading, where there's different ways to, become profitable. And there's the different ways to make money in the markets.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. And when you don't use the like algorithms for a Rubik's cube, you're not going to be able to solve the Rubik's cube. Just like if you don't have a profitable strategy in trading, you're not going to be able to actually pull money out of the market. You're not going to be able to become consistently profitable. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. It's a big game. The market is like it's a big puzzle. It's a big game, and it's really fun.
I'll be honest with you. I've had Rubik's cubes in the past, and I don't know if I've ever solved one, to be honest. Yeah, like that was just not really for me. You just got to learn the algorithms, and after you know that, you just repeat the algorithms over and over and over. What do you mean when you're saying algorithms? What algorithm? There's certain moves you got to do to sequence. Yeah, like a sequence of moves to actually solve the Rubik's cube, and it's so much like the market, because there's different things you can do in the market. You use different indicators, use different just different ways to read the market, and it just matches so much. Like random question: have you taken the SAT? I have. Yeah. What was your score? Oh man, it was like just over 1,000. I felt a lot of the different sections. I just like fill in random questions, and then I was going to say, this kid sounds pretty smart. I need to know where he's at. No, I didn't do like super well in school, but so you didn't do well in school, but you seem to still have this very analytical brain, though. Which is interesting. It's not
the school just wasn't fun. Like doing the,
repetitive.
I don't like to learn. Yeah, I don't like to learn like that. I like to be hands-on, and you can't just hand me a textbook and like, say, hey, regurgitate this information on the test. It doesn't work like that. My brain at least doesn't work like that. It's not wired like that. It's not.
How would you like to learn? You hands-on, obviously.
Yeah, definitely hands-on experience. Experience is a big one, especially
so it's like
trading.
Connecting and experience.
Yeah. For like any trader, I'd say learning from experience is a really big thing. Blowing accounts, blowing challenges, blowing all these things are really big experience building blocks that let you, learn how to not do that in the future. So, yeah.
So how much money have you blown on this journey, on this short journey?
Oh, man. So the day I turned 18, I actually bought my first account.
So you waited till you were legally able to.
Kind of. So actually, I know this doesn't really go with the question, but when I was 17, I think it was 16 or 17, I begged my mom to buy me sign for me, which I know is not allowed. I don't condone it in any way.
Neither do we.
And it's actually against the terms of service. Don't do it. You'll probably not get your account. So I begged my mom from an FTMO account to buy me a account. So I got a 25K challenge. And I actually passed phase 1 for that challenge, and I failed phase 2. So that was my first failure, and I was devastated. But from there, the day I actually turned 18, I bought a 100K account from, I think it was my forex funds. I failed that. I failed multiple accounts. I don't know.
The viewers want to know.
12, 15, something like that.
That's not bad,
I'd
bro.
buy like bundles of accounts. So I'd buy like $1 million in challenges, and
at 19, at 18, you were buying $1 million worth of challenges.
I like to reinvest a lot. I actually have about $1 million going right now.
Let's go.
So I like to reinvest, and I totally recommend any trader to do this who starts pulling money out of the markets. Just like any business, you want to reinvest it.
Yeah.
Reinvest your profits, buy more challenges.
That's how you scale.
You got to scale. And it's just a reinvesting game.
Crazy. So you passed phase 1, like you just told me when you took your first challenge with FTMO, you passed phase 1. So you already had some sort of profitable strategy?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it was a profitable strategy. It was luck. Yes, it was definitely luck, and that it showed in phase 2 when I failed it. But
how did that feel when you passed phase 1?
Man, I felt like I was on top of the world. I felt like my life was going to change. I was like, wow. And at the time, it being 16, 17, I was like, this is big money. But quickly failed. That dream kind of got shattered.
So what would you say had caused you to fail the phase 2? Was it the psychology?
Over leveraging. 100%. Yes. And didn't even have a strategy either. So I was just winging trades left and right.
What were you trading?
Oh, so long ago. I don't remember.
Forex
it was Forex and indices, and I think Bitcoin too. It was when Bitcoin started to skyrocket. Actually,
Bitcoin's kind of can be.
Yeah.
Bitcoin can be a little rough.
Yeah. So it was a while ago, like 3 years ago. I don't remember that too much.
What are you trading right now?
So right now I trade kind of everything. I trade mostly fundamentals. So whatever has the most strong bias, I like to trade. I have a software actually. There's a YouTuber, and he has like a community. It's like A1 Trading. They built a software. It's called the Edge Finder, and it pulls together like COT data, interest rate. Pulls together unemployment rates, all these fundamental factors, and it like scores different assets on different buy or sells. So I'll look at like the strongest bias to the different assets, and I like to trade pullbacks. So I'll look at those and I'll look for pullbacks, and then that's what I'll trade. So I trade pretty much everything that has a very good really bias to it. Yeah.
So you don't feel overwhelmed by trading multiple pairs?
No, because it's just my strategy. I just trade the biases. But I do really like, my bread and butter is the indices. I do like trading indices and gold.
That's what I was asking.
I like to do lots of buys on those. I don't like to short. Yeah, I don't like to short indices because I actually trade long term. I'm more of like a 4-hour daily. I hold trades anywhere from like a day to I've held trades for 3.5 weeks.
So it's like swing trading.
Yeah, so like a swing trade, position trading. So I've held trades for like 3.5 weeks. So
would you say you're taking less trades because you're swinging them, because you're holding them longer?
Yeah,
you're taking less amount of trades?
trade maybe. I'll take like 2-3 trades a week.
Okay.
It really depends what I get, you know, setup wise, but that's probably around, you know, the numbers that I'll trade.
So what were you doing before? Like, let's go back for a second. What were you doing before trading? Like, you're 19 years old. You were in high school.
So I was in high school. I've really just had a passion for trading for so long. So since 10th grade, after I failed those accounts, I dabbled into options actually a little bit.
Okay.
And I worked at a couple different, I think I worked at Walmart at the time. And I threw all my, I had like $3,000 and I threw it in like options. And I blew like all of it in like a day. It was rough, but that was the get rich quick kind of thing that I was trying to get to. I did more deep diving into it, forex, and when I was 18, I bought the first challenge, failed it. I bought a couple more challenges. I think I failed those, and then November of last year is when I got my first. That's when I bought my another challenge account, and in January is when I got funded $50K, and from there I think I got paid out $2,000-$3,000. I don't remember what it was. And a couple weeks later, I got funded another $100K. So I was at 150. That's when I did, I think, my first interview.
Can I stop you for a sec?
Yeah.
Being 18, 19, getting a $50K payout.
No, it was a $50K funded account. Okay, I got like a $2,000 or $3,000 payout.
Okay,
so.
Okay. Well, at least you got your $3K back.
Payout would have been really nice. But from there, 150K. I think it was like a $15,000 payout, and that was the real eye-opening moment. I was like, "Wow, you can make a lot of money from this stuff."
Tell me more.
So, then I actually went through drawdown. So
first time.
Yep, the first drawdown, and at the time, I actually reinvested a lot of the profit. So I had, I think, 1.2 million in challenges with 150K funded. So I actually, with the drawdown, it was rough. I broke my rules a little bit, and I lost all the 1.2 million of challenge accounts.
So were they trading, copy trading?
No, I actually individually would place each trade. It sucks, but you know, I'd like to get more into copy trading eventually. But I lost all the challenge accounts and the funded accounts too at the time, and I was like, wow, okay. So drawdown.
Yeah, what caused you to get into this drawdown?
Breaking my rules. So at the time, I would let my trades. I would remove my stop loss, and I would just let it keep going. And
rookie mistake.
Yeah, and it's really been kicking me in the butt the past couple of months too, because June and July are statistically like the worst months.
I mean, even August too.
Yeah, and August. It's been rough for me too, but. I let those trades just keep running, and it lost me those accounts. It lost me the challenge accounts, but I saved still a lot of the money, and I bought more accounts. I think it was another 850K, and I actually lost those right after. And then I bought 600K, and I lost those. And then I bought another 600K, and that's when I got funded my max allocation. And from there, I just kept my risk very low. About 1/4% per trade. So like 1/4% to 0.5% that's a lot of money for 600K, man. You're trading like $3,000 per trade. So that's just where I stayed at. So
let's go back real quick.
Yeah.
You're 18, you're working at Walmart.
Yeah.
What was your plan for your life? Obviously, things started to shift towards trading, but at that moment, what was the plan for your life?
I was doing college, actually. Walmart pays for your college, believe it or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they pay 100% of your college up front.
Really?
Yeah. So I was doing college with Walmart, and they're paying for it. I hated Walmart. But
college where?
Is Bellevue. It's in like Nebraska, but it was online, 100% online. So I'd spend like couple hours a week doing college. But
did you know what you wanted to go in and major?
Yeah, I'm going in for business management. I'm still in college actually, and I'm still at the same school, so I'm going for business management. I believe that getting the degree is going to be a nice backup. Income's never guaranteed. You never know what's going to happen, but your income's never guaranteed. So I'm still going for college for a degree. It'd be nice to have.
So you're what year now in college?
I'm on like a fast track, so I'm going like about 2 times the actual pace that a normal college person goes through. So
you seem to be going 2 times faster than most traders as well.
Thank you. So I think I'm in year like 2.5.
Okay.
So,
but you're gonna be done soon.
Yeah, I'll be done eventually for college. Yeah,
eventually. So it sounds like there's not much interest there.
I'm slowing down the college now because I really want to pursue this trading a lot more full time. So
sweet. So you talked about TFT being stable. What is your favorite part of TFT?
Man, their promotions are really good. You'll see their promotions. They will always have a promotion pretty much available. And their community is amazing. I find myself checking the funded traders group chat in the Discord so much. It's quite addicting, actually.
Yeah.
Their community is amazing. There's a lot of traders and a lot of really good traders in the funded group chats to, see what they're talking about and their trade setups. So that'd be my favorite part. Is their community is amazing.
Cool. And what is something that you want to see? Something else that you want to see
come up from TFT? Yeah. Their max allocation being raised. Maybe a little bit. The Kings program currently doesn't really help swing traders. You got to have a notional volume of quite a lot. So I haven't been able to get qualified for the Kings program.
Bro, you're 19.
Yeah, but
you'll be there freaking soon, bro.
Yeah,
very soon.
So
you're saying mostly gold. You're trading. Obviously there's a combination.
Yeah, I'd say mostly indices. There's gold in there too, though. Really, whatever sets up.
Which index you know? Is it NAS?
I like NAS
for sure.
Gotta love the NAS stack. It's it runs a lot.
It's got a good flow.
Lot heavier than it runs very
well. US 30 is gonna tag your stop loss.
Yeah, that one is very volatile.
And then S&P is more of like lagging behind NAS.
Yeah, that's more of a longer term, I guess you could say. Stable, more stable than the others. So
what is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal here?
I'd love to get
You've made it far for your age.
I'd love to get like 5 million funding, maybe more. I'm using it as a initial cash flow, I guess you could say. I'd like to start my own firm eventually.
Okay.
I talked with a couple, a white label technology things to see like what I can do. I'd love to get.
When did you have this conversation?
A couple months. No, not a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So then I'd love to start like a hedge fund, maybe eventually.
Sick.
I want to get like, I don't know, 100 million eventually in capital that I can like trade with. That's later down the road. And then just start in real estate, get a couple properties, a couple rental buildings, and just scale like that.
First goal, 5 mil. Yeah. Second goal, 100 mil. Third goal, real estate. Fourth goal, take over the world.
Yep. But the first step is funding, getting more funding and getting more payouts.
Let's go.
That should be step one for anyone who's trying to grow their wealth, I guess, and who would love to pursue trading, of course.
Do any of your friends from high school, like you remember you told me you were in 10th grade, you're sitting at the lunch table, you saw MT4 for the first time, right? Eye-opening. Yeah. Are those friends trading still? Are they still in the picture?
So I actually didn't really know. They were more like acquaintances. I wasn't really a friend, but I don't really know. I don't really talk to anyone in high school. I was kind of the kid that sat in the corner.
Yeah.
And I'd actually be trading in class a lot. And I'd be in the back on my computer with the charts pulled up, and I wouldn't pay attention to school at all. But
did you win any of those trades taken in class or what?
On occasion, I guess, yeah. But yeah, I don't really know a lot of the friends, and a lot of them don't really know I trade. I don't.
Who needs friends, right?
Yeah. I don't really tell a lot of people I trade. I guess it's more of on the down low. I didn't even tell my family until I got like, 15K in payout. So, and I think a lot of people would benefit from not really telling a lot of people that they 100%. Trade until they start making money, because the whole trading industry just gets a bad rap, and they think of it a lot of gambling. So
100%.
And I get, because 90% of traders fail. Like, I get that stat, but when you think of it, 90% of businesses fail. And a lot of people will be more excited when you say, "Hey, I'm about to start a business." They're like, "Oh wow, good luck, man. You're gonna do great." But if you say, "I'm gonna go day trade, I'm gonna go into trading," they're like, "Man, that's stupid. Like, why are you doing
Why
that?"
do you think that is? Why do people have that correlation?
Man, they just, because
they think you can make money too fast. Is that what it is? That they can't wrap their brain around it?
Man, maybe it's just the gambling mentality, I guess. Man, you think of trading, you just think of gambling. I mean, everyone else until you have the trader's mindset, So
how did you actually become profitable? Like, who was the one that you learned from?
Yeah. So I learned like all the learning how to technical analysis and all of that just by myself, YouTube, just learning. But it really hit when I started adding more confluences like sentimental analysis and fundamental analysis, adding those things into my trading. It was Trader Nick on YouTube.
Trader Nick, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he's a YouTuber. He does a lot more of the fundamental, and he owns the A1 trading thing that they have there. They built that software. So I actually learned from him, and I stuck with it. I was like, wow, it's really handy to have these fundamental biases to it.
So is that like, it's just based on news and all this stuff?
Yeah. So like I said, like interest rates, and it really combines like the three different, I could say, pillars of like a strategy in trading. There's technical analysis, sentimental analysis, and fundamental analysis. So the technical analysis is really, the charts. And then the other two are very overlooked by people, and I feel like it should be looked at more. Sentimental analysis, more of commitment of traders data, and retail sentiment. And what's really nice about the software that I use,
shows you.
Yeah, so every Friday, believe it or not, the COT data comes out. And that's all the big speculators, the big banks, all the big money, like the 80% of the market. They actually have to, by law, release all their positions, open positions. They put it in on Tuesday, but it comes out every Friday. So it's a little bit lagging, but it'll come out with all their contracts, and it comes out as a really nasty text document. The software I use kind of visualizes it more.
Okay.
But yeah, it comes out it's really cool to be able to see all the actual open positions from these big players, and you can trade alongside them. Right now, actually, believe it or not, the big banks and stuff, they're 80% on average. They're 80% long gold. So right now, I believe that gold is gonna reach, I don't know, 2,200 or so. The past month, they've been adding to their contracts, and you can see right now that they have about 220,000 open contracts, which is it's really big.
Yeah, just knowing that gives you some sort of confidence almost, right?
Yeah, and they're 80% long gold, so it makes me want to go, I only buy gold. I don't short it because I know that I'm going against them. Why would you want to go on the 20% when you want to, be with the big speculators? And then on the contrary, you'll see the other part of the sentimental analysis, retail sentiment.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
do the exact opposite.
Yeah, they're shorting. They're shorting, and you see that a lot with big moves, big trends. You'll see, euro going higher and higher, and you'll see that the institutions are all long. But then you'll see retail sentiment. You'll look at it, and they're all short. They're like 80% short. Well,
why is that?
So.
Is it because of the retail logic trading?
Yeah, they think, oh, it's too high.
Support, resistance.
Time to sell because it's too high. But realistically, there's no, end.
There's no limit.
There's no end to how high a market can go. It'll reach new highs and it'll just keep going. So I like to trade against the retail trader. I like to trade, if they're long, I like to go short. So it's really an extra confluence.
Let me ask you something. What are your thoughts on the market? What are your thoughts on the market moving based on an algorithm.
Based on an algorithm.
Have you ever heard of this concept?
Kind of.
I want to get your take on that.
Man, I don't know about that. I think of the market more moves with, like, the big players will use the news. They'll use the interest rates. They'll use all these fundamental analysis to build a position and a bias. They'll be like, but I don't know.
And and you would just say that because they're the majority players, they're what's majority pushing the market in the direction?
In my opinion, yeah. I think they're majority pushing the market, yes. Whatever this economy, I think they look at more the bigger picture, and that's what I try to do. I look at the bigger picture. What is this economy? Why is there a need to buy this? Why should I buy the yen? Right now the yen's crumbling. It's not doing great. They're not doing great. But why should I sell? Why should I buy this economy? Why is the US dollar weak? Why is it strong? And look at those factors of why. Why? Because the unemployment is good. The interest rates are going higher or lower. So those really help me build the bias, and why it helps me, have more of the
reasoning. Yeah,
reasoning, and makes me feel better about being in a position that I actually feel like this economy is doing better than the other one.
Okay. So you're taking definitely a larger scale approach to every trade.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's important. That's what traders should do at the end of the day, right? Do your research. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to diss on the 1 minute time frame or anything, but if you find consistency in 1 minute, if you find consistency in any strategy, stick with it. And if that's what you like to do,
it's what works for you, right?
Yeah. Just me personally, I find it was more helpful for me to move up to the 4 hour, the daily.
Catch the major movements.
And I actually used to trade 1 minute. I used to trade 5 minute, and I wasn't able to find consistency. It wasn't my style of trading. So I believe that you have to find your style. You have to find what really works for you.
Do you hold trades over the weekend?
Yes. So I'll hold trades over the weekend, multiple weeks, overnight.
What was the longest trade you ever been?
It was about 3.5 weeks. So
damn.
Yeah.
In drawdown for what? How long of those 3 weeks was drawdown?
I don't really remember, but yeah, it's 3.5 weeks.
So it's a big USD?
Trade. Actually, I don't remember. I think it was probably gold.
Gold.
It's probably gold.
Damn.
Yeah.
Being in drawdown on gold for 3 weeks is like,
man. I actually do remember it. I think I bought it at 1960.
Okay.
And I actually wrote it down. It was a losing trade. I wrote it all the way down, and that was one of the times.
No stop.
That was one of the times I broke my rules. Yep. I removed my stop, and I had such a strong feeling that it was going to go up, and that's where I break my own rules. And
exactly. Yeah.
It kept going down and down and down and down. And I think it hit it was 1920 before I got stopped out, and it kept going down to the 1800s.
Stopped out at full margin blown.
It wasn't full margin. It was, it was probably 3-4% of my account though. Yeah, you got to use those stops, man. You really do.
Tell us how you use stops nowadays.
So, my personal trading, I like to trail. So I don't have a take profit either. When I place my trade, I'll let it break market structure, and when it does, and it retraces and goes back up, I'll move my stop below market structure, and I'll keep moving it below market structure to catch the entire trend. And then when it starts to bend, the trend is your friend until it bends. That's when I'll get stopped out, and I'll take my profit.
How far up are you getting on average before you get stopped? Man,
I don't know. It really ranges, because sometimes it'll go for a week. Sometimes it'll go for a day, So I just keep going. I take what the market gives me,
There's 2 perspectives out there, right? There's one where people say, don't trail your stop.
Yeah.
And then there's the other, obviously, where they say move your stop to break even. And then even I would say yours is the third perspective, actually trailing your stop as you go.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on, people that just move their stop to break even and let it sit there?
I say,
what's the logic?
I say do your back testing. If that is your strategy and that's what you have found is profitable, then use it. I've personally found that me trailing my stop is what gives me my edge. That's what actually gives me that little in the market. That
it seems like it may be easier to trail your stop on a swing trade than maybe an intraday trade because too much going on at once.
There's a lot of volatility or freaking out. But when I'm in a longer term, I'll be able. I can view the market more. Smoothly. Yeah, I can move the market more, and I won't miss out sleeping. When I'm sleeping, I don't have to move it while I'm sleeping. So I can wake up in the morning. I can wake up in the morning and look. Okay, it's been retracing a little bit. I'm gonna leave my stop where it's at. Okay. Or I wake up. Oh, okay, we just broke to newer highs. I'm gonna move my stop now.
How many times per trade on average are you moving your stop?
Man. It varies, 3, 2, probably around the 2 or 3 area. Sometimes you'll get the 4 or 5s, but
so because you're moving your stop so fluidly, right? Do you feel like this affects your RR, or does it just not really matter for your case?
Yes. So,
it could be hard to calculate. Yeah, right.
Well, I'm a little bit jealous of people who don't have take profits, who actually do have take profits, is they can capitalize on more of the whole move, and they can close at the top of a move. Compared to me, when that move goes down, I can be stopped out at 50% of what they got. So I'm a little bit jealous on what they're able to do, but
hey, I think you're doing a great job.
At the end of the day,
if that means anything, it's coming from me.
Then at the end of the day, but those people who stop at the top, they might be missing the whole move that continues to go up that I was able to trail my stop at.
It's a give and take. So,
so some trades I'm able to close, twice what they were able to close, but the other trades they're able to close at, a profit. Well, meanwhile, I never took the profit, and let's say it goes back and takes my stop loss out. So,
have you tried to do ever a fixed RR?
I have,
and it just didn't work. It wasn't working.
It just wasn't my type of trading. It just wasn't my type of trading. I'd get too much anxious when I'm so close to the take profit, but then it reverses. I'd be like, I kick myself. Why didn't I take profit up there? Why didn't I take profit where it was at instead of my 1 to 3?
That's like a skill in its own, is like knowing when to get out of the trade.
It is definitely a skill, yes.
What are your tips for people wanting to know when to get out of the trade?
Man, you just got to know your technical analysis, I guess. You got to know when it looks like the market's going to pull back. It's really just gut feeling.
Okay.
There's no
so you trust your gut a lot.
Yeah, I do trust my gut, but I also just let my strategy play out. I let the market take my stops when we go farther and I trail. So
sweet. Man, there's so much going on.
So yeah,
it's crazy.
I trade a lot differently from the majority of traders.
I guess you could say. The approach though. It's very unique.
I like to trade. I feel like, no one actually knows how banks trade other than the banks itself. But I feel like that's more of what the banks trade like.
The approach.
So I want to follow them and I want to trade like what they do. But no one actually knows what they trade, how they trade other than them. So
if you could ask somebody who did know 3 questions, or let's just say 1 for now.
Okay.
1 question. What would you want to ask them? What would you want to know from an institutional trader?
Oh, from an institutional trader.
From someone like who actually trades at the bank or is the bank, right?
Well, I would want to ask what position, what risk they take, how much % they take per trade. Is it a quarter of a percent? Is it half a percent? Do they vary it? Do they build positions? Do they, put a buy as it goes lower? They still feel to buy it. They place another buy and they just continue to place buys. I want to know how much they risk per trade.
So you brought that up. That's an interesting point there. Like the actual pyramiding, right? So let's say the market's going up, right? For example, I guess maybe it's not the best way, but one of the ways to do it, right? You start with your most positions, right? Yes. Maybe 3 positions on the bottom, then you scale down. You go on your next move up, you go 2 trades, then 1 trade at the top, and then ideally you're in enough profit from the bottom trades that there's like no drawdown, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Is that something you want to implement at some point?
Something kind of like that. I'm kind of branching into there a little bit.
It's a very advanced skill.
It's a small part of the strategy that I've been placing a couple of trades like that, where you'll place your initial position. It's very small because you don't know initially. Yeah, it's a very small position because you don't know how low it's going to go. But trying to catch reversals. So you'll place your initial position, and if it continues to, kind of go down a little bit, you'll place another small position. And if it continues to go down, you'll place another small position until you feel like your bias has changed. If your bias has changed, you'll close out of all of them. But if you still feel heavily that it's going to reverse, then you continue until you see that reversal. And by then you have more of an averaged position of that whole of all of them.
Interesting. And you keep saying how you feel, right? So like some traders don't go based on how they feel at all, right? Like they're like, no, that's a no, right? But you seem pretty confident and tapped into your gut.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll take that bias. I wouldn't really say
with a grain of salt.
No, I take the bias more. I will feel the bias more than my actual gut feeling. I'll take the bias. I'll use it more, I guess you could say. A lot of the time,
it's just a confluence, maybe.
Yeah, so a lot of time with the position trading, I guess you could say, the time I'll decide to start scaling out of it and getting out of the trade for like a loss is when I'll initially place the trade from, let's say, the commitment of traders data is showing that the institution more long a pair. And that's when I could start building the position. And I'll start, I guess you could say, removing it by when these the commitment trader new data comes out. I can see that they'll start closing positions. And I see they're actually getting out of the long. I'm like, okay, maybe the idea was wrong. I'm going to start closing it just like they are.
How often are these institutional trades wrong?
I mean, they're
profitable, right?
Yeah,
so they got to be winning most of the time.
Like 70% right, 30% wrong.
Okay.
It's more of the lagging behind what makes it wrong.
Problem.
That is the problem. So you'll be like a week behind because
it
comes out on Friday after like the market closes.
Yeah.
So
much can happen.
Yeah, the next time you're actually placing a trade after Sunday because there's so much volatility. Monday, they actually put their data in on Tuesday, the last Tuesday. So you're already a week behind. You'll always be like a week behind. So
it seems like you wish there was a way where you can have that live data feed.
Yeah,
right?
But that's a little bit of insider trading right there, a little bit illegal. So I don't know if I want to go to jail for that. But
well, you're doing pretty good with what you're doing.
Thank you.
What is something that you want to work on? Like, what would be the next step for you as far as getting better in your strategy or profitability?
Man, really not breaking my rules.
That's what it comes down to.
I'm a human at heart. I feel FOMO. I feel the wanting to, make a lot of money. So initially like placing larger lot sizes and larger risk, and those are all me breaking my rules. And I find myself doing that every once in a while. And that's, something I'd really like to get better at.
Definitely.
Yeah. So,
a good point that these last traders spoke about was the visualization, right?
Yes.
That could be something maybe to try.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to visualize yourself stepping away from the computer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Away from it.
Yeah. I actually find myself not in the computer a lot of the time.
That's good.
Because of the way I trade, I have more time.
Walk us through the way you trade. What time are you stepping on the charts?
So I usually trade New York session. That's when I'll place my trades. So like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Around that time when the actual New York Stock Exchange opens, that's around the time a lot of volatility comes in. That's when I'll place my trades. Okay,
so are you looking at the charts at 8:30, or are you just hopping on at 9?
Yeah, so it really depends when I wake up. And sometimes I won't even look at the charts because I just want to sleep in. So I like to be
hard part.
Yeah, I like to be in the right mental state. But I'll wake up. If I miss like the 9 o'clock, I wake up like 10, 11. I'm like, I'm just not going to trade for the day.
Yeah,
but,
you
don't
want to rush it.
Yeah. I'll pull up my software. I'll look for the bias, what pairs, because it comes up with pairs. Like these are what are sells, these are what are buys. So I'll pull up those pairs. And I like to trade retests, break and retest. So I'll look at the pairs that it gives me. I'll look for a break and retest.
Would you call that like a liquidity grab? Is that the same thing?
Not gonna lie, I'm not really. I don't know a lot of the concepts.
I guess what I would say is like the market, like you see price go back down, right? Snatch, maybe like liquidity, like go back down and then reverse back up. Is that what you're talking about?
Like a supply and demand kind of?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of. I'll trade those. I'll trade like a supply and demand, like zone. I'll trade when it breaks back into the zone.
Specific zone.
Or I'll trade when it makes like a newer high and it retraces back into the previous zone. Like you could call it supply.
And you're marking all of this up on your own?
Yeah. So I mark it all up on the chart and I'll pull it up in the morning with the biases that they gives me. And if I see a setup, I'll take it. If I don't, I'll just leave it for the day and go on.
What are your thoughts on marking up the charts? Is this something that's annoying to you, or do you like it?
I like it. It gives,
because there's softwares out there that can do order blocks or whatever. Yeah, supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like you're not using that kind of software.
Yeah, I do. I don't use any indicators or anything. I like to mark everything up by myself. It really, I don't know, gives you more of a perspective of. It lets you overview.
It forces you to actually think, right?
Yeah,
to actually see what's going on.
And to, draw your zones, draw your lines. It really helps visualize it, especially when you pull up your phone, I don't know, later in the day, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And you want to quickly look at a pair that you were eyeing. Mm-hmm. You wanted to kind of place that trade. If you see it, doing what you want, you can easily visualize it and coming into your zone or whatever.
Okay.
So.
And that software you use, are you using that on MT4 TradingView?
So it's actually like its own
its own program.
Yeah, its own program. It's on Google.
Okay.
So but I'll mark up my charts on TradingView and I place my trades on MT5.
Okay.
So
you hate MT4?
No, I'm not an MT4 guy. No, I mean I don't really have a bias on MT4, MT5. I just was using the MT5 more than MT4, and it's a little bit different. It's not much different.
Supposed to be a little faster.
I guess it's a little faster. Man, I don't really know the difference.
They're both outdated at the end of the day.
They both place my trades. So that's all I need to.
Cool.
That's all I need.
And you're placing your stop as soon as you place the order?
Yes. So I'll place the stop. I'll place the order first, and then I'll find where I'll place the stop. But I usually do have to know exactly where I want the stop.
It's good to know before you get in the trade.
Yeah, I got to know that so I know the position size. You
don't use a position size calculator? You do it all on your own?
I do it on the TradingView. How they have the long, short positions. Yeah. I just put the account size in there and I drag it. Yeah, it gives me the quantity and I'll throw it in. So,
what does the future hold for this bright 19-year-old prodigy trader?
Hopefully more allocation. Just more challenges. I'd like to hit 2 million by the end of the year.
2 million.
And maybe 5-10 million next year. So I really like to hit that 6-figure per month mark. That's when I know I'll actually be making it.
So when you get there, are you going back to Walmart and you're gonna you're gonna throw some money in the aisle?
No, I actually I quit Walmart in January.
Cool.
But I quit after I started making like 15K. So I did trading full time, and I'm still doing trading full time actually.
Yeah. So for those considering quitting their job right now, what would you do?
So I say don't quit your job till you start making a decent amount of money. And even then, you gotta
have a game plan, right?
Yeah. And I say when you start, a good way to pass challenges is you gotta have capital to even start challenges. And I say my strategy with passing challenges is you got to have, I'd say, enough capital to buy about 2 or 3 challenges. And to do that, you got to have a job. So I'd say if you have like $3K to invest, you buy 200K challenges at about $1,000 each, because you're destined to fail a couple of challenges. So with like 3 challenges, with the budget of like 3 challenges, you have a wiggle room to fail the first 2 and pass the third.
And that's all you need, really.
Yep.
You can get a payout off that, right?
And then you get the payout on the 200K, and you just made a 200% ROI. So
what's your go-to challenge? Are you doing 200Ks at this point? Just
so
200Ks?
Yeah. I did rapid challenges. I had 3 200K challenges. The rapid challenge wasn't really
for you.
The scaling plan didn't really match with my strategy because you got to make the 10% to actually scale, and I make like 2 or 3 per month. So
that's something that we need to talk about because you know, you're making 2-3% a month and you're living comfortably off that.
Yeah.
Right?
So risk small.
Yeah.
That is the biggest tip I could give any new trader is risk small. Lower your risk, especially with this unlimited trading days thing. We didn't have that luxury, back then. I had a more of a scaling risk plan with phase 1, phase 2, and funded. I risk like 2% phase 1, 1% phase 2, and
it's all out the window now.
But now it's all out the window. Risk small, 0.5% per trade. Take your time and patience. Use your time. Stay patient. Let your strategy play out. Because if you know in the long term you're going to make profit, you don't know in the short term what's going to happen. Let that strategy play out. Take smaller risk and just be patient. That would be my biggest tip.
It seems so simple the way you're saying it.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it is really simple.
It is at the end of the day,
until
right?
you actually start doing it, and the psychology comes in. You got to have good psychology too. You got to have all these other building blocks.
What do you do for your psychology?
Outside life is really important.
Touch
to your
some
psychology.
grass.
You touch some grass. Yes, please touch some grass. Get to the gym. Stay fit. Eat healthy. You gotta have a life outside of trading, and it's really important to not be glued to the screen.
You can get stuck.
You can't be glued to the screen 24/7, and I guarantee a lot of other funded traders will tell you that you gotta have another life other than trading. You can't be trading 10 hours a day because you're gonna start breaking your rules. You're gonna
overtrade.
Yeah, you're gonna overtrade, and it's just not healthy for you.
So you find your middle, your little middle ground is 0.5% risk, 2 to 3 trades a week.
Yeah, 1/4%, 0.5. Yeah.
So do you start off your funding account with maybe 1/4%, and then you will scale up to 0.5?
So I'll start. It's really like the setup. If I see a setup that looks really good to me, the bias is very heavy. All the categories are aligning for me. I might place a 0.5% trade and let that play out, but it'll usually be around 1/4% to 0.5%.
I mean, it's good, bro.
Yeah,
it's good.
That is it. Yeah.
So, what is something that you want to some sauce you want to spill for the traders here? Something you wish you knew.
Man, I guess I can kind of just restate a lot of things. Risk small. The 0.5%. Be patient. You have to be patient. The whole game is about being patient.
I like the way you think about it as a game. You keep saying that. Like, that's important.
Yeah.
Your perspective on what you're doing is
it's a big
important.
puzzle. And another thing is you just have to backtest. You have to backtest. And if you don't have a strategy that will pass a challenge or stay consistently profitable, you shouldn't be taking a challenge at all. You need to do your backtesting. You can do that in TradingView. If you don't have a strategy that you have found that works well for you, try to, look for something else. Increase your time frame. I found that going the 4-hour really helped me. It gave me more time in my actual life. And really just add more confluences. The more confluences you kind of have together,
higher quality setup.
Yeah, it's more of a higher quality setup. For me, it was adding fundamentals. Adding these fundamentals to my trading really helped.
That's really interesting. That's something I need to try.
Yeah, it helps. It does help, but it's not a holy grail by no means. You still got to
lose at the end of the day.
Yeah, you still got to use your basics in trading and risk management. You can't risk a lot because it's not a holy grail. You're not going to be winning all the time. So,
man, what do you have to say for the people that your coworkers at Walmart? Do you want to inspire them to trade?
Man, trading. I tell a lot of people this. Actually, trading's not for everyone. Yeah, it works for me. It works for other traders. But if you don't have a passion for this stuff, you shouldn't get into it. It's not a get rich quick. And if you don't love it at the end of the day, it's not something you should be doing. Yeah, it's a job, it's a business. And yeah, you got to treat it like a business. You can't, at the end of the day, you have to love it. Man, if you want to come back to work every day, you got to love it, you know?
How do you, obviously outside your natural like for trading, what is something, did you do anything to make you like trading more?
No, I just fell in love with it right away. I felt like I said, it was just a big puzzle. I liked the fact that the scalable fact. I actually took that into consideration a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs, being an engineer, a doctor, you can't scale. You know, the more money you have as being an engineer, you can't put that anywhere to make more, you know? But with trading, what really helped me love this even more is the more capital you have, the more you're going to make.
The easier the game gets.
Yeah. The more you're going to make. And it's just an infinite scaling game. And that's I feel like how a lot of the very rich people are getting there, because they're choosing a job, I guess you could say, that is able to scale. So, and that would be a business, would be another thing. Starting your own business would be another scalable game that, you know, you can, the more money you have, the more you're going to make. So,
man, this has been a crazy interview, dude. Like, my mind is blown. Seriously.
I guess, yeah.
I can't wait to see what's in store for you, bro.
Man, I can't either. We'll see what happens.
Can you please drop your socials?
Yeah. So I don't really have like a YouTube channel.
If you want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have like a YouTube, like an FX channel. I don't sell anything. I don't have like a Discord, but I guess my personal Insta is jason.r.web. That's just my own personal Instagram that I post things on. So if you want to follow that, go ahead. It's just my lifestyle. So
we want to know what Jason's lifestyle looks like.
Trading's my full-time job. I don't really do anything outside of trading. Like I don't run a group or anything. So maybe if there's enough demand for it, I'll start a group, or
let them know.
I'll drop a course. I don't know, but so
that's you never know. Well, hey, thank you so much for hopping on this pod.
Having me.
It's been great. Seriously.
Thank you for having me.
It was great meeting you. And guys, stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you so much, Jason, for hopping on the pod.
Thank you for having me.
It's been incredible. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you on the next episode of the TFT podcast.
Peace out.